I'm Sarah.
Hi, my name is Rayson.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots. We are here to share with you our understanding and some tips about how to maintain mental wellness. And with me here, Rayson, he is the celebrity whisperer. And for me, I'm Sarah, and I have been a psychotherapist and a social worker for the past 15 years. And together, we really think that we can bring something awesome to share with you to kind of perk up your mood and kind of give you some understanding about how our mind works. So, my first question to Rayson is Rayson, what got you to join me in hosting Connecting the Dots?
Well, I would like to actually add value to the people around, especially in Singapore, or to be frank, not just Singapore, all over the world, because mental health issues are on the rise, not just in Singapore, but also other parts of Southeast Asia, Asia, and even America, Europe as well. So, not forgetting Africa as well, right? So, all these people need help, and all these people need to be educated, and especially not just the people who are suffering from it, but also the caregivers and even their friends, best friends, and even their family members as well. Because if they do not get the necessary education, then all the more they will be deeply affected, and they will be still be stigmatized all the way until God knows when the amount of years it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it is very very important for us to actually know how, okay, to help these people out. And I believe using this podcast, this show will be a form of like a testament for all these people, right, to help them out, to actually get them be involved as well.
Yeah, well said.
Mhm.
Indeed, we are facing a worldwide mental health crisis,
Mhm.
and World Health Organization reported that we have 322 million people worldwide suffering from depression, and
Mhm.
1/3 of them actually stays in this part of the world, that is Southeast Asia, including India and China. So being here in Singapore, we experience very hectic lifestyle, and there's not enough talk about mental health. And as far as I know, mental health come across as a very personal matter, and people feel a sense of danger to even acknowledge mental health issues. So I like to use this platform, this
Mhm.
opportunity, to actually break down some of this stigma associating with mental health, and also put mental health in a good light, that all of us just it's natural for all of us to be concerned about mental health, because that is our big rock for wellness. And I'm wondering, what do you think about social stigma concerning mental health? How do you think we can talk about it in a safe manner?
Well, definitely we got to make sure that these terms that we use on these people we make sure that it's not derogatory. We make sure that we do not degrade them. We do not say that they're crazy. We do not say they're siao or whatsoever, right? In Hokkien or whatever language that you're proficient in, right? We make sure that we have to ensure that we are kind towards them in terms of the words that we use, to make sure that we are more tactful rather than being tactless. And of course, not forgetting that, right? We also have to ensure that we do not really I would say label them, and not just about labeling them. We also make sure that we do not discuss this in a very provocative term, in a way where it will provoke them to become angry, or
Right.
even disappointment or even sadness in them, because they see hope in us. They see hope in people around them, be it their friends, their family, or even the professionals as well. So can you imagine if any one of us, right, were to degrade them and say anything unkind to them, right? And of course, in order to make sure that we can ensure that we do not make it unsafe for them, right? We have to ensure that we put ourselves in their shoes, in a sense whereby we do not really just say things for the sake of saying, but we also say things and advise them accordingly as per what they want, and also at the same time what they need, rather than just saying things out of the air, just share it out,
Yeah.
and and make them feel very hurt and feel very ashamed of their illnesses. So we're gonna make sure that these people, right, whatever that we are educating, okay, make sure that we put ourselves in their shoes and make sure that it's not so tactless in sense.
So as you're saying about putting ourselves in their shoes, it kind of made me feel a bit kind of embarrassed to admit that at one point of time, actually, I have been feeling depressed myself.
Okay.
So I'm actually very closely in touch with the feeling of being depressed. And depression, sometimes people are wondering, you can just not be depressed. You can do something about it. And that can make a person feel like they are out of place, or that they don't get the empathy, because it's really not something that a person can make themselves not depressed. So I'm trying to actually use this platform as a way to make it a safe place for people to be able to share about their personal story, their experience, and let's do it as a community together. And on our talk show, we have a segment. A part of the talk show we will set aside for Q&A. So all of you viewers, friends, you're most welcome to actually ask questions or make comment, and some of your questions and comment can be aired out so that everyone get to participate, get to see, get to comment as well. So we really want to build a community out of this. Alright, so that is the objectives of having connecting the dots. Maybe we can have a rundown of some of the episodes that's coming up. To begin with, this series, I coined it Social Minding.
Social minding?
Social minding.
What's that?
Yes. So instead of socializing, I coined it social minding because I would like us to pay attention to the way we socialize by having a mind over the process of socializing, which I think that is not enough that's being talked about. So I'm going to break it down to a couple of episodes. There's going to be 4 episodes. Episode 1 is about handling vulnerability. So I think in times like this, COVID-19 has gotten us to feel pretty vulnerable because of the overwhelming changes. Our lifestyle have to change. The way we interact with people has to change. Some of us may have lost our job. We have to adapt to a new way of learning. For example, instead of meeting in classroom, we have to use a platform, and there may be a lot of restriction concerning that. So there's a lot of vulnerability going on right now, but through vulnerability we can actually find strength with each other. But that is under the condition if we can build a safe space for vulnerability. So the very first episode, I want to focus on how we can handle vulnerability in a safe manner, handle vulnerability of another person, as well as the vulnerability we experience within ourselves. Is it okay for us to be vulnerable? Are there circumstances where it's not okay to be vulnerable? So I'd like to open up for a time of discussion, and I will be inviting a fellow psychotherapist to join us in the conversation. So that's episode 1. And we have episode 2, 3, and 4. Rayson, do you recall what is the episode 2, 3, and 4?
Well, that is for us to know and for you to find out. Okay, so one thing is we are not going to share everything out in this first episode because we want to make it a suspense. And one thing is it's not going to be so serious like how we're going to talk like this right now. It will be some fun, some kind of like fun, some of course some jokes in between the whole session as well. But ultimately we're going to make sure it's as impactful as possible and also at the same time as educational as possible for everyone out there that's watching this podcast and listening to this podcast as well. So of course, we have 2, 3, 4 already up already. All the content that we want to produce, that we want to do, all of it we have already. And of course, the guests that's coming are bigger and better. Alright, and of course, not forgetting one last thing that we want to share is that this whole show, this whole live show, okay, we're gonna have I would say this Q&A session that you're gonna have, that she has already mentioned, that we invite anyone that has any experiences with this, or even like no experience but you're curious, you can also write in the questions, but make sure that your questions are tactful enough so that people will not be hurt or will be affected by the questions or the comments that you have about the various topics that we have for you guys along the way. Alright? So Sarah, any last word that you have for this episode?
I think that's very well said. Always be respectful. Only then we can have safe conversation with each other. We regard each other's feeling as valid, as important for us to regard. And I hope you guys really save the dates. We will put it on Facebook. And for some of you who is using YouTube, do follow the therapy platform. On YouTube, the YouTube page will be under the therapy platform as well. And we'll try to share with as many of our friends as possible. And hopefully, the reason why you are seeing this is because we are already connected in some way or another. But if not, we will be connected. So yeah, looking forward to coming weeks with you.
Yep, we're looking forward to connect the dots with you, and stay tuned for more. So take care. See you real soon. God bless.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.